Alright, how's it going, everybody, or anyone who's watching? It's been a long time since I've done, well, I guess very much in terms of competitive battling, in terms of NU, actually, because that's what this is about, but it's actually probably, I think this is my third time recording, because I keep making these, 30 minutes long, so I'm going to try to go through this a lot quicker, and be a little bit, kind of summarize things a little bit more. But this is a team analysis for a team that I've used. It's a really, really good team, in my opinion. I've done really well with this team. I've really enjoyed this team. I've gotten to the top 13 on the NU ladder with this team. It was the NU suspect ladder, I'm pretty sure. So, not I'm pretty sure. I know because it said NU. Okay. I mean, that's not even a that's not really a, you know, that doesn't even take that much away from it. It was still the top 13 on the ladder, and it was late into the drafts, oh my god, I'm insane. It was late into the suspects, so there was a lot of people on the ladder. I don't know, I found it a pretty decent accomplishment. I was pretty happy with it, I suppose, but I'd really gotten out of NU, whether it was from league play or whether it was because I was just using a lot of gimmicky things for fun. I'd really gotten out of playing competitive NU for a long time, so I haven't been playing consistently since, I think the last time I played consistently and NU competitively was when Skunk Tank dropped. Oh my god, so I haven't been here when a lot of things dropped, or re-dropped, so Charizard, Steelix, O-Star, Abomasnow, even Shiftry, actually. I've really been playing consistently when those things either dropped or came back, so yeah, I was kind of trying to readjust to the meta and kind of get used to all these new Pokemon, so that was, of course, a thing. But I made this team. I didn't know how good it was going to be, but I've actually been really, really enjoying this team. I think it's actually a pretty good team. I think it's a really good team. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with it. I kind of mentioned, as I said, it's gotten me pretty far. So I guess I'll jump into it and stop talking because yeah, I don't want it to go 30 minutes. But I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. First Pokemon is Abomasnow. This is the set that I made. This is the set that I wanted to base the entire team around of, so it's what I did. It's a really fun set, it's a really cool set. It is a sub-Focus Punch mixed Abomasnow with max special attack, mild, we're running Life Orb, and I ran Snow Warning over Soundproof, even though I'm running a subset, because that really only helps with Pyroar, in my opinion, and like I said, I wanted to run specially offensive, so I wanted, Blizzard to hit, so that's basically, kind of a thing. I didn't want to run physically offensive with Woodhammer over Giga Drain, because if I ran Life Orb and Substitute and Woodhammer, then I'd pretty much die in 2 turns anyways, so what's the point of running Woodhammer? In my opinion, I don't know, sorry, no, okay, that sounded as if I was tearing down Woodhammer. Woodhammer bombs are amazing, but I want to run specially offensive because I wanted to be able to spam spam Substitute a lot more, and the longevity that you get from Giga Drain is very, very useful to the team. Abomasnow is kind of, like I said, the focus of the team, so having the longevity for the team is really, really useful and really, really good. Focus Punch, the last move, seems a bit weird, of course, but, I mean, it seems kind of gimmicky, and I guess it is kind of gimmicky, and the reason I chose it was for style points, but it's really nice for a lot of things on in the tier that aren't really expecting it. It's nice for Assault Vest users like Hitmonchan or Hariyama. I believe, I might be just insane, I might be stupid, I might be bad, but I believe that there's a couple variants of each of them that, I'm pretty sure there's a couple variants of them that die to Rocks plus Hail plus the Focus Punch, and it might also be plus Life Orb recoil if it's on the Hitmonchan, if it's an offensive Hitmonchan. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure, in all honesty, but I know I'm pretty sure there's a set that's a decently standard-ish set that just dies, it just drops, gets demolished, so yeah, that's basically the thing. The whole reason of using this set was to run Substitute, like I said, and the reason I wanted to do that was because you sub on so many things in the tier, like Lantern. A few Lanterns are carrying HP Fire, but defensive, just fully bulky Lantern doesn't usually carry it, so yeah, Lantern without HP Fire, Pelipper or Mantine. Mantine usually carries Air Slash, but Pelipper usually doesn't, and minus attack nature U-turn from Pelipper, even though we're minus defense, does not break the substitute. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a roll, but I'm pretty sure it's a roll in my favor, so yeah, that's kind of a thing. As well as Prinplup and Wartortle, even though they're not the most common Pokemon as well, you can sub on things like those, which is kind of nice. Focus Punch is really, like, it's a really fun, like, you can Focus Punch, like, I have Focus Punch Provo Passes as they went for Stealth Rocks, I Focus Punch Pyroars on the switch-in, and I Focus Punch Klinklangs on the switch-in, or you can even, like, if you want to, if the real mega play is to Focus Punch Klinklang without a substitute as they go for Shift Gear. That is the real play, my friend, but, yeah. But that's the set. It's really nice because Blizzard is just a really hard move to resist from Abomasnow in this tier. When you consider stuff like Abomasnow's coverage moves, its typing, and just kind of the lack of steel types in the tier, as well as just the power of Life Orb Mild Blizzard. Yeah, like things that switch into this, even if they resist, don't usually take it that well. Oh, Focus Punch is also nice for Meg Mortar, lest I forget. The next thing is Floatzel, and this is one of my favorite Floatzel sets to use. I've used it in the past quite often. It's not really a mixed set, but it's a specially offensive Mystic Water with Aqua Jet set. It's a really fun set. Hydro Pump is very, very powerful from Floatzel. It's really powerful. I kind of wanted a really good offensive core with Abomasnow, so this is a really good, well, a fun offensive core with Abomasnow. A lot of things that Abomasnow can't deal with, Floatzel can Hydro Pump and deal a ton of damage to. So I guess fire types, most notably, I suppose. Yeah, pretty much that. So this set is really, really fun. Hydro Pump and Aqua Jet are both incredibly useful for the team, and they're both the moves I'm going to be clicking the most often. So for that reason, Mystic Water was the move of choice. Not only that, but a lot of times you can kind of bluff a choice item, just by, you know, not showing the, just by being kind of smart. So it's kind of interesting because a lot of times you can bluff the choice item, and a lot of times it works out if you bluff the choice item. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I used to run Ice Beam over Hidden Power Electric, but the team really struggled against like Mantine and Pelipper, so for that reason I ran Hidden Power Electric, and for some reason people think like Pelipper hard walls Floatzel, so they always stay in. I think that's a bad play, not scouting for HP Electric, but people for some reason always stay in. Also, Samurott. Samurrott's scary as hell, dude. Like, this team is just scared of water types in general, but Hidden Power Electric does like 40% to Samurott. Like it does a lot of damage. It's like a guaranteed 2k after Stealth Rocks. It does a really good amount of damage. So if I Hidden Power Electric and then Hidden Power Electric and then Aqua Jet on their Aqua Jet, that's enough to kill a Samurott. Which is kind of cool. That's pretty cool. Aqua Jet, as I mentioned, is really nice because I actually don't have a Choice Scarf user on the team, so priority is priority. Priority is nice, and priority is boosted by my attack boosting item. So of course, yeah, that's a really good thing to be able to have. Mystic Water, as I mentioned, boosting Hydro Pump and Aqua Jet is really, really nice. And Floatzel has a really good attack stat. I'm running minus defense over minus special defense because with Water Veil, I can't get burned by Scald. So this is a decent switch into a lot of Scald users in the tier. So yeah, I don't want to run my special defense for that nature. You also live Volt Switch from Lantern with not minus Spit F, so that's kind of a cool thing, I suppose. The last move being Baton Pass, and the team is really more. It's a very offensive team. It's more offensive than balanced. I don't think you could call it hyper offense, but it's a lot more offensive than balanced. So I kind of needed a kind of pseudo Volt turn core to keep up the offensive pressure, keep up the momentum on the team. Otherwise, I don't know, I would really struggle with this team, with just a lot of things in the tier, a lot of defensive things in the tier, or even offensive things. So I really needed, like I said, a kind of way to gain me a lot of momentum and keep up the pressure on my opponent. So yeah. That's my thought process for that. Baton Pass is, it's really nice because it makes Floatzel a really good lure to a lot of things. Like I said, it works really, really well with Abomasnow. So being able to Baton Pass on something like Lantern coming in, or I guess War Turtle, or Prinplup, or Cradilly actually is a really good example. But a lot of really kind of bulky things I can switch into Floatzel. I can pretty freely not freely baton pass like on them, but like I can baton pass on the switch and go into Abomasnow. And Abomasnow is one of those Pokemon where if you make your predictions correctly, you get a kill pretty much every time it comes in. So that's really, really useful. That's pretty much the offensive core, and it's really good. I really enjoy it. It's really, really fun. The next thing is Mesprit. It's a support Mesprit. Mesprit's really, really good. It's really versatile. I'm running 200 speed and a Jolly Nature, which reaches me at 270, which is enough speed to outspeed two kind of important. I outspeed by 1.2 important things. One of them may not matter, but Malamar and Sock, and I'm not sure if Sock is gonna get banned or not because I recorded this before the end of the test, but it's enough speed to outspeed Adamant max speed Sock and Jolly max speed Malamar. Speed on Malamar is not very common, but yeah, I didn't want to get just fucking raped by Malamar because that thing is insane. Malamar is a god. That thing's the greatest Pokemon in the entire game. That thing's Mega Rayquaza except with Contrary. Can you imagine Mega Rayquaza got Contrary? That would be insane. They should give it Contrary. But yeah, both those two things are kind of scary. This is kind of my best switch into fighting types. It's a really good check to a lot of fighting types in the tiers, like Hariyama, or Hitmonchan as well, so that's of course always nice. U-Turn is nice for a lot of dark types. It's nice for stuff like Shiftry, Liepard. Skuntank takes like 25%, I think a standard Skuntank takes 25-ish%. That's probably like really high roll, but probably about like 20-ish, 22% is kind of a more reasonable estimate of what it does. But it does a pretty decent amount of damage to Skuntank. Before leftovers, I suppose. But Black Sledge, sorry, it does a pretty decent amount of damage to Skuntank, and U-Turn from Archeops plus U-Turn from Mesprit kills Malamar even after 2 superpower defense boosts. I'm like very certain about that. I could be wrong, but I'm like very certain about that. So that's of course always nice as well. Cause like I said, Malamar's scary, so yeah, that's kind of the thing. Not only that, but Mesprit serves as a check to basically everything in the game that it can live a hit from because of the greatest move in the entire game, known as Thunder Wave. So yeah, we hit them up with the wave, hit them up with the work, and then they're basically dead. And then that in conjunction with Zen Headbutt, which is the attacking move of choice, because I didn't want to run a minus attack nature because you turn that damage calc that I wanted to do, and I didn't want to obviously run minus defense natures. So that's why I ran Zen Headbutt. But Zen Headbutt in conjunction with T-Wave is like, it's so stupid because you can like cheese people out of like a lot of like, you just like cheese people and get a lot of like free kills. It's like, it's hilarious. And like Mesprit's bulky enough that like you have a few opportunities to pull off the Paraflinch bullshit. So like the amount of cheese off this set is just ridiculous. This set is so stupid. But I mean, it works. It's very cool. It's very bulky. Overall, it just does. It has a lot of versatility for the team, which is really nice. Last move, Healing Wish, is really, really important and kind of the most important move on the set, and it's really nice for kind of healing up a lot of things on the team that get weakened really, really quickly. So being able to pass off a Healing Wish into something like a Abomasnow or a Skuntank or Sandslash, I suppose, or even Aerodactyl is just really, really nice because those are a lot of times those are just the win conditions of the game. So having basically 2 lives in your win condition is really, really useful, really, really nice. So yeah, that's basically the thing. That's basically the thing. It's Bob Marley, the cheese Mesprit. The next set is Sandslash / Gordon. I think Sandslash is a really underrated rapid spitter in the tier. I'm running physically defensive. It's kind of a defensive core, I suppose, with Skuntank and I guess Mesprit. But I don't know, it's really good. I think it's really underrated. I think people underrate Sandslash a lot. I think they underrate its defensive and offensive presence in the game. In all honesty, stab EQ off like 100 base stat is not like, it's really not bad even uninvested. It's really good. And the defense, the defense is Sandslash 1v1s Kabutops. What is that bullshit? Sandslash 1v1 stuff like Kabutops. The speed EVs to outspeed 8 speed investment Lantern. I mean, you see if you're faster from leftovers because you know, you see who goes first, and I mean they usually carry a chunk of speed. But I didn't really want to play around with speed creeping in a too crazy way, so a lot of times people run 252, 248, and then they have 8 random EVs left, so they just slap in speed for lack of a better thing to do. So I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really want to be too crazy, so 24 speed is enough to outspeed 8 speed Lantern, which was a good benchmark to reach. Sandslash spins on the majority of Stealth Rockers in the tier, except for like Prinplup, Cradilly, or I guess specially offensive, well, Life Orb offensive Mesprit as well. A really good example, I suppose, of things that you spin on is stuff like Steelix. Knockoff means you beat a lot of spin blockers, so you Oko Haunter, you can Oko Mismagius and Rotom after Stealth Rocks if they're not Colberberry, I guess. I mean, it's a 50% chance, sorry, to Oko after Rocks. You also 1v1 like almost every Golurk that is a Stealth Rocker in the game, so like if it's banded, you don't 1v1 that, but like you 1v1 most Stealth Rocking Golurks, which is kind of cool as well. And having a kind of offensive / defensive hazard setter and hazard remover that can maintain my hazards at the exact same time is just, it's really useful, and like I said, it's very bulky and really, really good. The next set is Triple D Skunk Tank, Assault Vest Skunk Tank. One of my favorite things to use in the tier. I think it's the only real reliable way to beat a lot of things I'm going to mention. So a lot of grass types and psychic types and poison and ghost types. This pretty much renders them useless. This set, it's really cool. So grass types examples, I guess, are Lilligant, Ludicolo, and Sceptile. My counter to Sceptile on my team is praying it doesn't have Earthquake. Like, if I see a Sceptile, I hard switch into Skunk Tank and click Pursuit every time, because you already know if it has Earthquake, I've already fucking lost, so there's no point in going for Sucker Punch predicting anything, because I've already lost if it's EQ. It's over if it's EQ anyways, so there's no real reason to play around with it from there. Psychic types and ghost types, Jinx, Haunter, Rotom, Mismagius, Xatu, and Mesprit. You pretty much render them useless and can pursue trap them quite easily. As long as you don't hard switch in on a Will-O-Wisp, you can pretty much beat and trap these things very easily. Even if they're Colberberry, as long as you crunch on the Wisp, you can pursue the next turn and kill it. So yeah, that's really useful, I think. So it's a really good set. And having Healing Wish lets me play Skunk Tank a lot more recklessly, because I can let it get burned and then Healing Wish it later, which is really good. The Speed EVs is outspeed max speed without speed boosting nature base 70 Pokemon. So, well, Samurott and Ludicolo, neither of which really run a speed boosting nature, and I didn't want to not run Adamant because I would be not able to beat a lot of things if I didn't. So yeah, that's my reasoning for that. And like I said, they rarely carry it otherwise. Especially offensive Samurott, you should live any 2 hits from Samurott anyways, and be able to Poison Jab, and Sucker Punch to outspeed their Aqua Jet. Ludicolo, you can, well, outspeed and Poison Jab. If it's plus speed nature, it doesn't kill you anyways, even in the rain. Well, I mean, if it's in the rain, it's gonna fucking outspeed you. But if it's plus speed nature, like it does very, very little. Like Hydro Pump and Scald do not do very much damage if it's not a modest Ludicolo to this set. Basically, I suppose. And if it's physical Samurott, you guarantee live any 1 hit and can Poison Jab, and can Sucker Punch on the Aqua Jet and have them, hit you after. they'd be taking Sucker Punch plus the first hit plus aftermath damage because they're contacting you. So yeah, this set, like I said, 1v1's most Samurott variants. It's not very good to hard switch into on Samurott, but it's just worth mentioning. Also, Poison Jab is a guaranteed 2-hit kill on Mega Audino after I get a poison. And I mean, it's a 30% chance to poison with Poison Jab, so I mean, that's not even like crazy to say as an assumption. Oh, Crunch. The last move, the reason I'm using Crunch as my last move over like Fire Blast is because Ferroseed isn't insanely common, and I didn't really want to put too much prep towards Ferroseed. I mean, Ferroseed is really not that common, and Crunch was really nice because it means I don't get set up on and lose 1v1 to really bulky Calm Mind users like Musharna, or to some extent, I guess, even Mesprit, because Pursuit doesn't do very much if they stay in, and obviously neither does Poison Jab, so it's really nice to be able to crunch and 1v1 those things quite easily for that reason. It also means Kling Clan cannot sub for free on me, which is a nice thing as well. Last set is Archeops. The Archeops set looks a bit weird. I think it's not even that weird. I think it's like almost a standard set anyways, but I mean, it looks really weird to look at, but in honesty, it's really good, and I've used it, and it's done really good for the team. It's pretty much my best answer to fire spam on my team. So with these EVs, Life Orb Pyroar cannot 2-hit kill with pretty much anything. Expert Belt Meg Mortar cannot put me in defeatist range with a modest Fire Blast if that's what I switch into, and modest Assault Vest Meg Mortar can't 2-hit kill with like anything. Like Thunderbolt does not do over 50% on a Roost, and it doesn't kill from full. So you can switch in on Meg Mortar decently, I suppose. Not like incredibly well, but you can switch onto it. Basically is what I'm trying to say, I suppose. In addition to fire types, it's also pretty much the best answer to stuff like Scyther or Swellow or Vivillon or Charizard. Fire types, normal types, bug types, and uh, did I say flying types? Am I insane? I think I've lost my mind. Okay, bug types, flying types, normal types, and fire types are the things that this Archeops set is kind of meant to be. So kind of choice Pokemon, which is, I mean, those Pokemon are scary. Those things are like terrifying. So yeah, and it's just nice to have answers for those. So Archeops outspeeds a lot of really scary offensive Pokemon as well. It's very fast, and like I said, I don't have a choice Scarfer. I do have 2 priority users, and I do have a Archeops, which is really fast. But I mean, yeah, that's why I kind of wanted Archeops, like I said, because I'm not having don't really have a Scarfer. So yeah, it's nice to have Archeops. It outspeeds a lot of kind of offensive things, and it just kind of offensively checks them, like Haunter, like outspeed Haunter, and kill Haunter, a lot of other things as well. It's a really good answer, not answer, but like it's nice for fighting types like I suppose Girder as well. It's nice to, I guess, have stab moves that hit fighting type super effectively. Like my only other move to hit fighting type super effectively is Zen Headbutt. So yeah, it's nice to be able to stab super effectively hit fighting types, I suppose, in the tier. Taunt Roost is actually really good because it can break Stall. I've said it before, I'm pretty sure, but I'll say it again here. I think Stall in NU is bad. I really do. I don't think it's very good in NU because I think there's way too many wall breakers for full Stall to be an actual thing, because yeah, like that's just basically my thought process. There's a lot of really good bulky Pokemon. I think Balance is good, but I think full Stall just does not work because it just means you have no answer to a lot of stall breakers. So that being said, you do have to carry something for stall Pokemon. So this is really nice for stall. As I mentioned, it can 1v1 Weezing, Claydol, Mega Audino if it hasn't got a few boosts under its belt. Like I'm pretty sure you 1v1 Mega Audino up until it gets 2 Calm Minds, and up until and including it's gotten 2 Calm Minds, I believe, and stuff like Sandslash as well. On that note, though, it's nice to Taunt Roost is nice to have for a few setup sweepers as well. So Calm Mind users, Rest Talk users, Bulk Up users, all really fat things that just get boosts under the belt and wall pretty much everything on the team and have instant recovery. So it's nice to have for those Pokemon. It's like very nice to have for those Pokemon, and it's also kind of nice to be able to get Suicide Taunt off on like Kling Klang or various Shell Smash users in the tier as well. And then just not get so that I just don't get swept. Mono acrobatics isn't really bad. Like I wouldn't. I don't. I've always been in the of the opinion kind of before that I don't like acrobatics. Archeops, I don't, but like mono acrobatics isn't even that bad. In all honesty, it still hits pretty hard even without the attack. Like it hits hard even without the attack investment, which is pretty cool. It hits grass types and fighting types, as I mentioned, and having no item is actually pretty, I guess, decent because he gives it gives a way to switch into knockoff, I suppose. Because I don't have a, I mean, I have a knockoff resist, but like I don't. Skunk Tank is like specially defensive, so it's not really like a good, like it's not really like the ideal switch into knockoff if I need my assault vest. So I don't know. This is a switch in, I suppose, to knockoff, which is, I don't know, I guess that's kind of a plus side. But yeah, this is the team, I suppose. It's a really fun team. I've really been enjoying this team. I guess this recording still went on really, really long, but I've really been enjoying the team. I found this team really, really fun, and I'm plan to put out a bunch of I guess live sessions. I probably don't have time for replays, but I'm probably going to try to include a lot of replays in this team builder. But like I said, I'm going to shoot out a couple of lives that I had. I've really been enjoying this team. I've really been enjoying this team. I think it's a really, really good team. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything.